Well, if you are young like me, then people will mostly disregard your opinion and just shun you.
Mhm.
They will try to ignore you and not even bat an eye to your opinions. But it's our responsibility to speak up and put our thoughts and ideas forward and make our voices heard.
Hey guys, welcome to the Up Next podcast, where we are interviewing teen entrepreneurs that are making it big time in the startup world. We are asking the questions we know you want to hear. Up Next is an app made for teens where anyone can join or build a real life startup.
So today our guest is Ayush Vijayvargia. Did I say that right? Great. He is age 18 from India, my favorite place on earth. And the company that he has founded is called Techo News, an e-media company aiming at making daily electronic consumers' lives easier by reviews and important news in the tech sector. We will also have a link at the bottom of our video. And he founded this company at the age of 16. So I can't wait to hear how all of this started. Aish, is there anything you want to add before I start questioning?
Well, nothing much, but thanks for having me on this platform. Hope we have a great conversation.
I really think we will. So, how did you know your idea would work? How did this even start?
Well, frankly, it's very difficult to know whether an idea will work or not.
Mhm.
I researched a bit and personally asked people around if they would use my website, but again, I wasn't sure about it. I read this somewhere that an idea is as good as your belief in it. So, yeah, but then of course, you need to work right, and execute and implementation is also very important. Yeah.
Mhm. Well, that is true. As long as you believe in yourself, things can go a lot further than if you just thought, like, let's see what happens. So, that's a great attitude. Who would you consider your first mentor and what did they help you go through?
My first mentor are my parents, like for most of us. They have supported me during all walks of life. My father comes from a technical background, so he helped me during my initial efforts, and it's a tech website. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's great. It really is. That's really a lot of our first mentors, our parents, which I think is like the biggest compliment we can give them. How much time did it take for you to build the product that you launched?
About a few weeks, but then after showing it to the first cohort of testers, I had to reiterate it a couple of times and then finally launched it in February 2019.
Mhm.
So, yeah, about 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay, and February was the first launch?
Yeah, February was the first launch. Yeah.
Okay, great. And from there, just taking the criticism to hand and seeing how you can make things better. That's always something very important to tell people, especially the audience listening, that we build and we rebuild and we keep building.
You need to reiterate it. Yeah, that's right.
And how much funding was needed to build your first version? And what would you recommend to those who don't have the money for the funding?
So, about to build my first version with everything, such as including the logo, domain, hosting the website, I needed about $200 minimum.
Mhm.
Then, coming to the second part of the question, uh, I would recommend them to freelance or intern at a company and get paid, which then you could use to build your own company. This is something that I did when I did not have any money. Yeah.
That's great advice. I don't think I've ever heard that until now. That's actually like really realistic and to just use your talents in other places until you can use them on your own. So how did you get those first users, those first customers onto your platform? What was that like?
So I approached people in my neighborhood, friends, and posted on my social media handles and asked them to upload it on their social media handles. Another route I used was that I personally sent about 200 people emails. I sent them emails to about 200 people and requested them to use my platform. So they were the first cohort of testers. And then uh, it was like very exhilarating approaching people and asking them to use my website. I was very nervous, and what will they think about me and my website? What will they make of it? But I guess it worked out fine.
Yeah, I'd say that it worked out pretty great. If all of this started just by emails and their own social media, so it was mostly mouth to ear.
Yeah, that's right. Word of mouth.
That's great traction. That really shows a successful platform. So, throughout your process, I'm sure that you're learning new things every day. What is one mistake that you would avoid?
I tend to make impulsive decisions, right? Rash decisions. So without any detailed analysis, which sometimes may not be the best course. So now I would like to avoid that.
So,
Things,
yeah. So to just always check yourself. You sometimes, do things
yeah,
without checking them beforehand. Well, sometimes you feel like you really know what you're talking about. So I totally understand what you mean. So what are three traits that you would look for in a business partner, co-founder type of person?
right. So the first one would be that we have the same vision and passion about the company we are starting.
Mhm.
Second, he or she needs to bring something new and different, such as maybe a complementary skill set. And the third, probably one of the most important, is that he or she is trustworthy and has basic business ethics. So essentially does not backstab me.
Well, yeah, that sounds pretty important that we should have someone trustworthy by our side. So I totally agree with that. You have gone throughout this journey at such a young age. I mean, starting at 16 and now you're only 18. I mean, you're still like really young. So, what is one advantage that you find being so young, and what's a disadvantage?
So advantage would be at a young age we hardly have any responsibility, let alone financial. So
Mhm.
we can take risks, and at a young age we could directly dive into the startup world. And a disadvantage would be, well, if you are young like me, then people will mostly disregard your opinion and just shun you. They
Mhm.
will try to ignore you and not even bat an eye to your opinions. But it's our responsibility to speak up and put our thoughts and ideas forward and make our voices heard.
I totally agree. That's something that people sometimes underestimate younger people and think that, they don't really know what they're talking about. But at the end of the day, they figure out that they need to eat their words as well as listen to your own.
That's right.
Um, what is a tech tool that you can't go without? Maybe an app or a website that you always use?
So I made my website using WordPress, and nowadays I use Bubble a lot for web development. So these two tools are very important to me, and I cannot go without using these. Yeah,
That
these two.
sounds great. We actually also on Up Next on the app that we have, one of the options to build your platform is using Bubble, since people don't need to
Yeah,
know any coding, and it's really convenient for pretty much anyone, even people that do know coding. I mean, it's a faster process.
Bubble is great.
So which entrepreneurs inspire you the most these days, and who do you have your eye on?
These days, it has to be Elon Musk. He has created a huge empire without spending a dollar on marketing. And he's one of the few billionaires working on sustainable development, just overall betterment of the world with his companies like Solar City and Tesla.
Yeah, I mean, it's people like you and me that talk about him that just raise the awareness of his existence even more, which proves that what you're saying is totally true. He doesn't need to spend anything on marketing because we all know who he is and what he's doing.
That's right.
So which trait do you feel of yours is the weakest and you need to outsource it by another teammate or maybe a platform that does it for you?
It has to be design, hands down design. I just need someone to help me with it, although I'm not that bad at it, but still some guidance in that particular area is needed.
Yeah, just in case for someone to to check you off to say, okay, you're in the right direction. So do you have a design team?
So my friend, my co-founder, my friend, they help me with the design. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So let's say I am an average teenager looking to build my startup and I have $100. So what would you tell me to use it? How or where? What would you recommend?
So as I mentioned earlier, invest it in learning a new skill or hone one, so you could provide your skill as a service on different platforms and earn money from that service. So essentially freelancing,
Mhm.
and then you could use that money to invest in your startup. So investing in your skill would probably multiply your $100 by 5 times within a month.
So use your money to make money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
sounds about right. How important do you think it is for young entrepreneurs to think about social change when creating a business?
Okay, social change. So, considering the relevance and need of social initiatives, it's very important that the young generation, understands it and align our objectives to bring about social change in one or more areas. Some of such areas are environment, sustainable development, poverty alleviation, women empowerment, etc. There are so many for profit enterprises working on forementioned topics and have made a positive impact with earning billions of dollars in revenue. One of them were Tesla and Solar City, as mentioned before. So, yeah.
Mhm. So would you find yourself trying to make a social change using your platform?
Yeah, I can think about it. I haven't really as much right now, but yeah, something in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, once things start, taking off, it might be something later down the road. A lot of people have their platforms and they don't really think that they have a way to make social change, but in the end, the fact that you're doing something and having a platform that helps people, that's part of the change. So you're
That's
in the
right.
right
Correct.
direction, I'm sure. So if you could have any superpower in the world, what would you pick?
If I could have any superpower, it would be to have an eidetic memory. Right? Whatever I see just imprints in my mind.
Always
Because,
remembering things.
yeah, always I really lack in the rote learning side.
Kind of like a camera.
It would help me in, yeah, that's right. It would help me in my chemistry exams.
Oh, I'm sure it would. I think chemistry exams are the least of your problems when you have all of this going on. So, Ayush, it was great getting to know you and what you do. I think that what you're doing is really important for your niche audience, and I think it's something that everyone could benefit from. And I can't wait to see what you do next. I hope we can have another talk real soon.
Yeah, I would love that. Thanks for having me on this platform. And yeah, it was great.
Great, I'm happy to hear.